Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Apex. So Apex stars Bruce Willis and Neal McDonough. So, two pretty known actors for the most part. Here's the bad news. 3.4 on IMDb, 1,483 people have rated it so far. So, very yawning. Very low expectations on this 1 hour and 48 minutes long, and evidently it's about 5 elite hunters try and hunt somebody down, but then they become the prey. I don't know that much more about it. Here's the interesting piece, and maybe you can help me if you're watching this. And I happened to be on on Facebook the other day. That's why I can't find it. It was on Facebook that gave me a video that said, why does Bruce Willis make all these B-rated films now? And I was watching it, and I was excited to figure this out. And they were starting to mention the fact that some kind of way he makes money. Like, I think and I don't know this. I don't know if I heard it right or whatever. But from what I gleaned from it, because then my son came over, I turned it off, I turned it back, Facebook scrolls all the way back to the top again. So I couldn't find it again. So I apologize. So I don't know, maybe you know, but evidently it's something about the more movies he makes, doesn't matter the kind of money he makes from that movie or the kind of movie that he makes, he gets more money maybe from his something else. Like, I don't know if he's under a contractual agreement, maybe with his agency. I don't know, but it seems like the reason he does all these movies, even though they're not great, is to get more money. Obviously, that's why you do movies, but I don't know. There's some kind of mythical thing out there. But I was trying to research it before I checked in with you guys. But I was looking on YouTube. Now I remember it was on Facebook. I don't know if I can find it there. Anyway, that got me excited to watch this film. Low ratings. Let me get into it. Find out what it's about. Give you a better idea. Try it out together. Uh-oh. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Apex. Sorry, no check-ins tonight. Normally, I don't always agree with the ratings on this one. What did I say? It was 3.7? It is. It is a 3 or a 4. I started this movie, and at first I turned it off because I felt in the beginning it was so poorly done. And then I started watching it again. And I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I initially thought. Like, what happened was I fast forwarded it real quick to try and get through the front credits, and it started at a scene. And the sound seemed off. The hologram, there's a hologram, there's a bunch of holograms. The acting, it was just like, whoa. And then I went back, I was like, okay, watch the beginning again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stay with it here, knowing it's not bad. Well, I probably should have quit. So, I mean, there's 6 hunters. Bruce Willis is the prey. He's in prison. So what they basically do, they let rich people, I think Ice-T made this movie too. Not this poorly, but and they go out and they pay all this money and they go out and hunt somebody. Now normally it's Green Berets and stuff like that, but it just happens to be Bruce Willis, who's an ex-cop and who has escaped death a lot. So he's supposed to be awesome. And it's like, okay, it's futuristic, let's see it. And you start watching it, and the hunters, besides Neal McDonough, are awful. Whether it's bad acting, bad writing, bad timing, bad jokes, it's just bad. It really, the Black Hood is in it from, I forget his real name, but he's from Riverdale, right? He was the Black Hood. He's in it. And there's other people that I don't know. Well, just them alone were bad. Just, hard to watch. So, okay. We'll see. There's some goofing around and stuff like that. Okay, we'll see. Let's go out. Let's see the hunt. Because I'm sure it's going to be, I think Bruce Willis is going to be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, he somehow survives. Well, literally, most of the movie is just him walking through the woods. He puts on a red jacket. They make a big deal about it. They're like, oh, he wears a red jacket. What is he, a rookie? And it just like hides behind trees. And doesn't, I'm waiting for all these cool moves, set up booby traps or do whatever. No, it's just really the 6 hunters fighting with each other over him, essentially. And you know, he just hides behind a tree and then goes and hides. It's ugh. And so you get to watch for a majority of the movie these 6 hunters with poor dialogue, poor acting, poor lines, poor action, and poor focus for them, because they don't even really look for him all that much. Okay, I'm not doing a check-in for that, so that's why I didn't check in. You watch the movie, you gotta see it through to the end, right? An hour and 28 minutes, whatever it was. I forget what it was, but ugh. You wait, and then I'm like, okay, there is a scene where Bruce Willis does show a little bit. It's one, you know, a little bit of skill. Very minimal, not worth watching the entire movie for if that's what you're looking for. But there was one, and I mean, it's very quick. And then I was even thinking through it all, like, they don't give him too many lines. And I'm like, okay, he's just the attraction. Now, they did give him a couple of lines, you know, towards the end. You know, at first I was like, okay, well, he's pulling it off. But if you keep it going, nobody can pull off what they gave him to say. And then the same thing with Neal and his character. His character throughout the movie was him. You know, the tough assassin, stoic kind of guy who just, you know, he's the main hunter in all of this. So, you know, 75% of the movie, he's, you know, pretty much what you expect to get from him. You know, with all the other craziness going on and ridiculousness. But then it flips. In the last 25% of the film, it just gets bad. You know, for him. It's already bad for everybody else. And then, you know, so then they have a dialogue together. Bruce Willis versus him talking. You know, it's a showdown. I get it, but just listening to what they had them say and then what they had them do. Oh. And then I digress. There's also not so much the soundtrack. There's, like, when I was traipsing through the woods, they put like circus music on. It wasn't exactly circus music, but that's what it reminded me of. You know, you're in this action movie and they put like this kind of circus music on. I was like, what? They make a scene about berries, but then don't follow it up. It is. I wish there was something. It's not. Here's the other thing too. Like at points you could say, well, maybe it's just funny, but it wasn't. Like, you know, you could laugh at it. I couldn't even laugh at it. It was just so. Ugh. I'm sorry. This one was not for me. I don't know if I've given a 3 before, but you know, with the I know going in the scores were low. You got 2 pretty decent actors in it, and that's okay if it's not going to be the greatest plot. But they just, you know, there's green screen mistakes. There's, I wouldn't say mistakes, but the green screen you can see. There's, and the other 5 actors, the 5 hunters were just. So, I'm giving it a 3. Yep, there you go. That's what I got for you. I'm hopefully saving you some time. I was going to look up to see what I was trying to find on Facebook. I didn't. Maybe next Bruce Willis movie, because I'll continue to watch them. I would not, unless you've got this kind of tick where you have to watch every Bruce Willis movie that comes out now, I would not recommend this. There's nothing here to see. So there you go. I'm sorry to be so harsh. Not normally me. Normally I tiptoe and try and be nice. But I couldn't on this one. But, I mean, I applaud the effort. Everybody, don't get me wrong, I know I'm kind of like backpedaling now. But I mean, everybody who makes these things and all the actors are much better than I am. I get that. But this one just wasn't for me. Alright, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.